Congratulations, you made it to episode 8 of the AI Bot Show. I'm Carl Franklin, that's Brian MacKay.
Hey, Carl, how's it going?
It's going good. So you had this idea to somehow bring songs and music into the AI realm, and I know this is something that, as a musician, a lot of my peers are deathly afraid of. People, not just people who write songs, because let's face it, not a lot of people make money writing songs anymore, but performers, who they hear deep fakes of Beatles songs that don't exist, and they get freaked out. And some of them say the future is here, and others say, "Oh my God!" So tell me what you have in store for us.
Well, so what people may not know about Carl is that he is a legit professional musician. I've actually played with him very briefly, and I'm a musician too. I have an album, but Carl's on a different planet than me. How many albums? How long have you been doing this, Carl? Tell people about your music career.
Sure. Well, I mean, I started with recording school. I went to a Full Sail School for Recording Arts in 1985, 86.
That's
86.
Crazy. In Orlando?
In Orlando, yeah.
I almost went there, man. I went to, I didn't know that. I went to 3 open houses, but I was going to go for game design.
Yeah, well, this was before that. This is when they had Park Studios in Altamont Springs or Winter Park or one of those places.
This was Winter Park, yeah.
Yeah, and it was before they were accredited as well. So 1986, yeah, we were learning on big solid-state logic mixing boards that were 50 feet long and that kind of stuff. Anyway, so I was recording around that time, and in 1999, my brother and I produced our first album of the Franklin Brothers that was Strange Communication. In 2010, we released Lifeboat to Nowhere, which I had a real studio by then. So that was a lot better sounding, like real drums, for example. We used Drum Machine for the first one, or drum samples. And then I did a solo album in 2013 called Been a While. And I had John Scofield play on that with us. So yeah, those are the 3 main albums. And I got to say, watch carlfranklin.com, because I'm soon going to announce a Kickstarter for my next album, which is going to be just me. I'll use guys in the band, and I'm going to use local musicians, but it's going to be all my writing and singing. And I don't have a title yet, but I do know this. It's only coming out on vinyl.
Just vinyl. Analog medium.
And when I say vinyl, I don't just mean like a record with a sleeve. Like, I'm going to have liner notes. It's going to be an open jacket, like full color, like I'm sparing no expense, and it's going to be like $100 a piece, and I'm only going to press 100 of them.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's going to be a special project, but I don't have the Kickstarter up yet, but I'm going to.
Well, I would be shocked if this song makes it onto the album, but I'm going to do my best.
Okay, so when you say this song, what do you mean?
Okay, so I'm not looking to put musicians out of business, but our whole thing has always been, let's show how you can collaborate with AI to unlock your own creativity, right? So
right.
I wonder if we can make a process that we can collaborate with to write a song. And it's not like we're not going to hook this up to some kind of bot and have it try to sing and like record drums or sequence things. We're going to work with it to get it right. And then if you like it enough, maybe you'll do a cut of it, a little demo.
Yeah, or it could give me an idea, and I could take that idea and modify it and use it.
Yeah, there you go. So that's phase 1. Phase 2, in the next episode, if this goes well, I want to show how, so we're going to be doing a kind of sophisticated chaining technique here where it's several prompts. It's a few different prompts that feed into each other. And we're going to be doing manual chaining. So we're going to do this by hand this time. But in the next episode, I want to get a little more technical because we're both programmers and show how in code you could automate that chaining to just bring a process like this to life.
When you say code, do you mean Python or C# or what?
I'd probably be using C# because that's what I'm best at.
Okay, cool.
Most of the AI world operates in Python.
Right.
And we could do Python, but I've got it all set up for C#.
Good.
And it's
that
just to show
I'll
people,
understand it.
right? I will too.
Yeah.
so that's good. All right. So let's get into this. So
Sure.
I've created, similar to last episode, I've created the shells for 3 bots that we need to build out.
Okay.
So the process that I have in mind is, first we generate a story.
Mm-hmm.
And that story will be hopefully a few paragraphs, and it will be like, here's a little tale about Jack and Diane, whatever, some kind of love story. Actually, we'll talk to ChatGPT to ask what the topics are that are typically found in hit songs. And you can
we don't need ChatGPT to tell us that.
Yeah, it's love stories. It's
love, sex, booty, drugs. You have
a lot of songs. Do you have a booty song yet? Because we could go
I do
right
not,
there.
and I'm not going to. No.
Maybe
I do have some country song titles that I've made up that kind of write themselves, right? Like I only date girls named Julie, so I'm never wrong when I call her name.
Oh, so your style is like funk blues rock, right?
Yeah, think Steely Dan. Think not really progressive rock, but just something groovy, funky, and smooth and good to listen to.
Does that is that close enough to country that we could actually do a country song?
No.
Okay. Okay.
The other country title I have is "Put That Thing Away."
Oh, okay. That can go a lot of directions. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to prime this with topics that you like, and just work with it to generate a song. That's not a song, actually. It's a story. And then we're going to feed that story into a songwriter bot. Right. And the songwriter bot will be primed on things like structure and we'll teach it to generate a chord progression maybe, and a key, and some things like that. And then for the final step, that's going to get piped into a music executive bot, which is going to critique the idea and tell us whether it's good enough to be a hit single. And so in an actual chain, the music executive bot will do nothing more than say yes or no. And we'll have code that just looks for that yes or no. And if it was a no, it would just scrap everything we have and just do it again and we just keep looping through until we get a yes.
Okay, but we're doing this manually here. Like we're starting with the story. We're going to give it some topics and tell us to give some ideas about a story, right?
Yep, that's right. So let's get into that.
All right.
So topics, we'll say love story. Like, what do you want to?
So here's the thing. I would scrap love story. I would like to keep in the surreal / fantasy realm, right? So, and that could also be funny, like the magic coconut or something like that. I mean, you can go nuts.
Okay.
And that also allows you to have a little bit more creative freedom. Like if you think about an object, right? And that object could be the title of the song. The object has some sort of hidden magical powers, but only if you use it in the right way. And, so the story, this is just coming to me as we're talking about this. So the story might be, who finds it, who accidentally figures out its magic powers, and who uses it and what happens.
Okay. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a very different genre, but I used to listen to a lot of Clutch, and they're very surreal like that. They have songs like The Elephant Riders. All right, so let's just ask it for some ideas. Give me 10 story ideas based on these themes. That might not be enough, but maybe it is. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see.
We've got our 10 ideas.
Let me read them here. Sunset Boulevard magician. A street magician on Sunset Boulevard finds a hat that can really pull out anything from rabbits to lost childhood memories. Parallel love. A man falls in love with a woman he sees in his dreams only, struggling to find her in real life, unaware that she's also searching for him in the parallel world. No. Harmony. It's not surreal enough. I mean, that's like, a dream love song, right? Harmony and chaos. A busker's guitar can mysteriously bring order and calm to any chaotic situation. But when his beloved instrument is stolen, he must get it back before his city spirals into that might be a good sci-fi story, but alien encounter. A small, quirky alien lands in rural Iowa, thinking it's the capital of Earth. And the leader is a stalk of corn. The alien and a local farmer communicate through music, leading to some hilarious and touching moments. All right. 5. Balloon of memories. Sentimental balloon sellers' offerings bring back forgotten memories to whoever holds them, but when a customer remembers a dark past, the seller must help mend broken memories. Clock Tower Jester. In a small town, the clock tower joker provides laughter and entertainment but hides a deep depression. A traveling poet helps him find joy again through the shared stories and songs. Interesting idea about a clock tower jester, but I'm not sure I like the idea that it's come up with. But clock towers are always interesting. Okay, traveling through paintings. A retired art teacher discovers he can walk into his paintings, living the stories he illustrated. He meets a woman in the painted world, leading him on a surreal existential journey. Ice cream past and future. An ice cream truck not only cools down its customers, but also an ice cream past and future. An ice cream truck not only cools down its customers, but also offers flavors from their past or future. But when someone tastes a bleak future, the ice cream man must use all his might to change it. Interesting story. Again, maybe hard to make a song. All right, Whispering Shadows.
We can take anything that it comes up with and blow it up.
Yeah, of course,
paragraphs.
and also change it. Whispering Shadows. In a city that never sleeps, one man has the ability to communicate with shadows. Every night, the shadows whisper the city's secret stories to him, which he uses to heal the city's broken hearts. And lastly, the dancing electrician. A humble electrician gets struck by a musical lightning bolt, making him dance uncontrollably whenever he hears a rhythm.
Is that a hit?
No. I don't know. He becomes a local celebrity. All right. Yeah. Wow. I don't really like any of these story ideas, but let's do this. Let's add something to the themes that can, like easy to tell or easy to explain or easy to get, Easy to grok, easy to get. Yep. And also, well, let's try that and tell it to give you 5 story ideas based on those themes.
Sure. Caffeinated delusion.
I like this. The story of a young woman who works at a quiet coffee shop in a busy city. One day while cleaning up, she spills a cup of coffee onto a seemingly ordinary novel. The characters come to life and begin to inhabit her world, each infusing her daily routine with their own stories and qualities. As she learns about life from these fictional characters, she must also navigate with the absurdity and laughter of her new situation. All right, I'm going to tell you, I like number 1 right off the bat. I kind of skimmed the rest of them as they were coming down, but I like that one.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just remove everything we've got and say, expand this story idea into a few paragraphs.
Okay.
Give it a beginning, middle, and end that can later be translated into a song.
Okay.
That should be enough.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so this is long, and I'm going to say be very brief.
Well, you said a few paragraphs. So just say 3.
Okay. All right. So we're going to tell it to generate, to blow this up, and we're trying not to make it too big. So 3 paragraphs, be very brief. Let's see what happens.
In the heart of a bustling metropolis, amidst the high-rises and the chaos, a young woman named Lucy manages a tranquil coffee shop. The quiet shop serves as her solace, her haven against the restless tempo of the city. Among the aroma of the freshly brewed coffee and the soft whispers of turning pages, one day hot coffee spills on an ordinary book, a pure accident that sends Lucy's otherwise calm life into a world of caffeinated delusion.
That's where I'm at today.
Oh, yeah. Suddenly, the mundane novel comes alive, releasing its characters into the monotonous streets. Eccentric, bold, tragic, and witty, these individuals bring in their stories with gusto, blurring the lines between reality and fiction for Lucy. Each day, amidst the daily grind, she finds herself living different lives, laughing at the absurdity, empathizing with tragedies, and experiencing the thrill of adventures. Lucy's coffee shop now becomes a theater where well-imagined characters take center stage, adding flavors of surreal comedy and wisdom into her coffee-scented world. The end arrives as a plot twist. This is cool. I love plot twists. You know me. Caught up in the whirlwind of her new reality, Lucy must return all characters back into the pages, an ordeal that tests her wisdom and wit. Tea-drenched goodbyes and absurd farewells fill the coffee shop as Lucy puts each character back into their literary home, including a romantic character she'd grown close to. The novel closes, and Lucy is left in her quiet coffee shop once again. But she smiles, a different woman now, enlightened and inspired by a delusion, her daily routine no longer a grind, but a stage for the extraordinary. See, I like this as a story in general. But here's what I'd like to do. Some of my favorite songs are written without a plot, but only with details. All right? So I think of Black Cow by Steely Dan. So the words are, in the corner of my eye, I saw you in Rudy's. You were very high. You were high. It was a crying disgrace. They saw your face. On the counter by your keys was a book of numbers and your remedies. One of these surely will screen out the sorrow, but where are you tomorrow? Right? So it paints a picture with these details, but it doesn't really tell you what's going on. You know,
it asks you to project your own idea onto it.
Exactly. So what I like about these 3 paragraphs is we have some details here that we can use to generate lyrics that will be, you know, they'll have the details, but we will not have the plot. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder if it would make sense, because this is going to be the input into the songwriter. I wonder if it would make sense to take this and have it, try to ask it to reduce this down to more abstract images from this story. Like what if we said, reduce this down to abstract images only.
Details.
Leaving out details. Right, that's true. Leaving out the exact plot.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It'll do it.
Yeah, okay. Let's try it. Now, see?
No, it's still
telling a story.
I don't
so how about this? How about this? Come up with a list of 20 come up with a list of 20 items that one might see if this, what one might see in a scene if this were a movie.
That's good. We might get things that are too I don't know. Let's try it.
Yeah, let's try it.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking.
The city skyline filled with high-rise buildings, a small, quiet coffee shop, a worn-out novel with a coffee stain, characters emerging from the pages of the book, customers unsure whether to laugh or be concerned, chalkboard menu hanging on a brick wall inside the coffee shop, a steaming espresso machine, a barista apron adorned by Lucy, a spilled coffee slowly seeping into the novel's pages, a collection of different coffee mugs on shelves, colorful customers turned characters, some dressed in Victorian gowns, others in spacesuits, a Baroque duke directing orders to a confused customer, a dramatic damsel weeping into her cappuccino. This is great. Puzzled pedestrians outside the coffee shop peering inside. A reluctant love interest in the form of a handsome fictional character. A teapot for the final farewell. The closing book with a soft, audible thud. Lucy holding the closed book with a triumphant yet melancholy expression. And there you go. Lucy's enlightened smiles. She serves another customer. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. So you can take then these things, and instead of having the description, you just have a city skyline, that those two things as part of a lyric. Quiet coffee shop. You don't have to say a coffee shop at all. You want people to infer that it's a coffee shop. The worn out novel with a coffee stain. Like, we need to pick a novel. I think we need to pick a novel that she's reading, and even find a real novel in real life, and find the characters in the novel and use their names. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I want to see what it does if I just say this. Show, don't tell. Maybe that's the wrong.
Yeah, this is still a story. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to stop this. Cancel. I also would like some things that are more like, would you like it if there were some more emotional parts too? Like in the Steely Dan song that you were just talking about, it seemed to me that some of it was about feelings.
Yeah, but I think that that's something that I could do as the songwriter. Okay. Once I have I could throw an adjective in here and there, although,
So let's do what you said, and we're going to say enhance this list with details. How do we describe what you're trying to do? You want to abstract things like coffee shop into,
I would say,
sensory elements.
I would say give me a list of all the nouns in this list.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, we're going to get really abstract.
Yep.
And then what do we do?
Well, those are all good nouns to use in the lyrics. And if you take these things now and move them into the next bot, what would you tell it in terms of lyric generation? Like, I guess this is where we might be bumping up against the limits of AI, and this is where a real human, songwriter might come in and finish it up, because what you're really trying to do is craft a story without giving it away.
I think we can do this though, and what you're kind of running into is where this is fun. Coming up with this idea of like, what if we make it more abstract and reduce it down to nouns and see what we can get to come out of a songwriter? That's cool. You know what I mean? Like, this is, people think of AI as this like soulless creativity destroying force, but when you understand it and work with it, it's really fun and engaging. So, okay, so now we've moved on to the next bot, which is the songwriter.
Okay.
And I've just told it that it's a brilliant songwriter. This might not be right, actually. I told it to write a chart-topping song. I don't know if we're actually going for that.
Yeah, I don't think a chart-topping song would be appropriate. Just a song, right?
Yep. Given a story, you will write a song about it appropriate for the artist and their style. All the elements defined in song should be present. So what I said is, it actually doesn't even matter what the name is.
Sure.
That might even confuse it.
Right.
We'll say the genre, funk, blues, rock. We wanted to always give us a name for the song. It's good. I feel that it's good to have it come up with a plan because that guides it. It creates some structure. Structure verse chorus is just you must know this, but for everyone else,
right,
that's just the most successful common structure.
Right.
It's gonna make lyrics, and then it's going to suggest a key and chord progression.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I mean, only in terms of the way that the style that we want it to write lyrically is going to, we need to feed it those details.
So let's fill in the blanks there.
Yeah.
So how would you describe? We're going to give it something that's have like a list of nouns. So what do we want to
tell the story without exposing the setting or the plot?
Ooh.
Only using the details.
I might change this from style to something else, but tell the story without exposing the. Do you say setting or plot? Just the details.
The details items that one might see if watching the story unfold as a movie.
All right. So now we have this.
Yep. You need to have those paragraphs of the story too, because that's the story that it's going to tell.
Okay, so you do want to start with this.
Yes.
We could try it both ways. It actually would come up with something.
Okay.
It might be weird.
Right, but we wouldn't know what the story is that it's trying to tell. Maybe that's a good thing.
Maybe
it's a different story to you.
Maybe.
And to
It'll
me.
be interesting to see what it comes up
let's see
with
what
from
happens.
all these prompts.
Okay.
Write a song based on these words.
Yeah.
This might be weird. What's interesting is that this is kind of like a game of AI telephone. Like God knows what's going to come out.
Yeah, right.
This
is kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cappuccino charms and coffee stains. That sounds like a country title.
It does sound like a country title.
Okay, but it's got the right idea, right? I just think that coffee, cappuccino, and espresso should be stricken from it. Like, you can say, try again.
We gave it those words.
All right, let's take them out. Yeah.
All right.
Or just say, try again without using the words coffee, cappuccino, or espresso.
We could also ask it for concepts, and have it build from there. But let's say there's two ways to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, here's what I want to do. Rather than tell it to edit itself, I want to edit the input.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if they're in sequence correctly. You wanted to cut out cappuccino and what else?
Well, anything that's coffee, coffee mugs, espresso machine,
coffee stain,
yeah,
coffee shop.
Mm-hmm. You could just say a shop,
I like it. Barista apron, espresso machine. That's all coffee, right?
Yeah.
Do we like Lucy?
Yeah, sure.
Coffee. A lot of coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee mugs.
Coffee mugs. Just say mugs. Have one that says mugs.
Teapot. That's fine, right?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, no. Take out
it's
teapot.
It's kind of surreal.
Yeah.
All right. No teapot. Book thud charms.
All right. I like it.
Gosh. All right.
Okay.
Do you want to come up with concepts or just have it go?
No. Try again.
Here we go. Hey, look, I told it verse chorus and it knew that was verse chorus, bridge chorus.
Wow.
Which is exactly what verse chorus means.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the rhyme scheme is pretty basic.
Yeah, but it's good. I mean, look at what it's done. Let's read it from the top here. Lucy skimming through pages beneath the skyline's gaze. High-rise buildings seem to sway in the rhythm of her day. Customers come, mugs in rows, her smile with the daylight grows. See, that's good. Mugs in rows. You don't know. You can kind of infer that it's a coffee shop, but you don't really know. On the chalkboard could be a teacher. Duke's order shows a charm that she knows. All right, it's kind of exposing it, but not explicitly.
But I go to Greasy Spoon. I think she's got a little diner or something.
That could be, yeah. Lost in the tale, Duke and Lucy sail. In a world between the bricks and shelves, characters whisper the story they tell of a love dancing under the city spell. Yeah, okay, well, whatever. Next, hustle of the shop beneath the lurid loft. The lurid loft.
Lurid.
That's pretty good. I mean, I didn't say anything about that, right? It came up with that. Damsel in a novel, Duke's eyes aloft. In the mirror of the mug, a reflection soft. In a city of millions, the worlds have crossed. Lost in the tale, Duke and Lucy sail, blah, blah, blah. All right, bridge. Pedestrian's pace, a farewell trace, bound by the cityscape in a love-sweet race. The thud of a book, a lingering grace, between Lucy and Duke, the city's gentle embrace. You know, it's a good start.
I would tell it to have a more interesting rhyme scheme.
I think so too. And also, I'm more interested in the way words sound. So words that sound good together, right? That you think, oh, wow, that's a nice sounding sentence. It's not really, this is kind of, basic, right?
Yeah. Tail, sail, tell.
Exactly.
Spell.
So maybe you should say, rewrite it using more interesting sounding words and phrases.
Would you mention the rhyme scheme or just go with that and hope that it picks that up?
Yeah, let's see what it does with that. All right, the second line is terrible. Skyscrapers sway in sync with her ballet. No.
We could focus on just one part too and say, we could actually go verse by verse.
True.
Which may make sense to just start with the first verse.
All right, well,
and get something.
Sure. Go up back to the first verse. Lucy dances through paper dreams, kissed by city skyline gleams. Terrible. Lucy scrapes away. No. Skyscrapers sway in sync with her ballet. Absolutely horrible. Patrons pour in lineup of liquid grins. Her sunbeam grows upon their chins. I think this is actually worse.
We could trash this and have it try again. Sometimes,
yeah.
Let's just do another one. Urban Enchantress. I think interesting maybe we need something more specific than interesting.
Oh, here's a great word. Mellifluous.
Mellifluous. Can you sing that?
Rewrite this using more mellifluous words and phrases. That means beautiful sounding.
We're gonna spell check that one.
Not sounding, but just mellifluous words and phrases. Yeah.
The rhyming bugs me. Lift, gift, drift, thrift.
Light and twilight.
It rhymed light and twilight. Ouch.
All right, so this is getting there, but let's see. Lucy, the artisan of words, 'neath iridescent sky. Towers dance to her rhythm under the sunlit high. Patrons perfectly aligned, porcelain vessels lie. Upon the chalk canvas, Duke's request scribed nigh. A captivating enchantment in her gaze does lie. All right, I don't like that at all.
No. One way to do this. All right, let's try this. All right, this is. First of all, you said you don't like Duke and Lucy anymore.
Yeah.
You want to get it to come up with some.
Yep.
Come up with 5 replacements for Duke and Lucy. They're out.
Yeah. Okay.
Jack and Daisy, Miles and Ivy, Leo and Bella, Noah and Hazel. Any of those good?
Miles and Ivy. Sounds good.
Miles and Ivy.
I like that.
Let's go with Miles and Ivy. All right. So so one thing that happens here is we have to generate this whole thing. Then we look at it and say, oh, this is terrible. Let's start over. Let's go step by step.
Okay.
Give me 5 name ideas for a song.
Okay.
We're gonna actually do this the right way.
Okay.
So right off the bat, if you hate these,
I do.
This is the first thing to fix.
Okay.
These are terrible. Give me 5 more.
Good.
What would we change? Like make it less. I mean, it's kind of like
more terse. Make it more terse.
It feels like sappy poetry.
I know, right?
Oh, okay. Brick romance, skyline love, urban pulse.
You know what? I would wait on that, because what I typically do is I write the song first, and then I find like a supercharged word or phrase that has an emotional reaction, and that will become the name of the song. Like Her Ringtone, right, is the name of that song that I told you about before. But that didn't come out. Right. I didn't get the title until I had written the song.
Got it. Okay, so we'll cut this stuff out, and we're going to say, give us 5 plan ideas for this song.
Okay. Yeah, see?
We can cut the name.
Well, but we also, it's turned it into a love song, and I didn't want that, you know? I wanted the surreal coffee novel song, but we originally had that, but then we were going to let it come up with the song with it. Yeah.
We've gone too far down the road. We need to
exactly
back out of this. And we're going to go in here and change Lucy to Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's all we'll say. We don't want it to be a love. Even I'm stuck on a love song now.
Take Duke out. Yep.
Yeah, we'll just get rid of Duke and then.
Yeah.
All right. So now we'll say, give me 10 quick song ideas based on these words.
Okay.
And we could also always go back and add in the paragraphs of text.
Sure. But see, I thought we had the idea for the story. So
we did.
And we liked that idea, but now it's just a matter of having it write lyrics without exposing the story. But we want the story. We want it to know the story.
Yes.
So maybe what we do, Brian, is we go back to that first paragraph that was the story idea that it came up with, where we got those thing, not those 3 paragraphs, but the one above.
This.
Yes. Caffeinated delusion, yeah.
Consider working these words into.
But we don't want it to expose the plot. Oh, you said that already in style. Tell the story without exposing the setting or plot.
It's okay to repeat yourself, though, if you think that.
Okay.
So let's just tell it to write a song. In fact, we'll say submit.
Yeah.
Characters in the grind.
Okay.
It's funny because we removed coffee shop and it inferred it from what we put in. Actually, you know what? It's probably in the paragraph.
It is in the paragraph.
Yeah.
So do this. In your direction, tell it not to use the words coffee or anything related to coffee. Well, don't use the words coffee, espresso. Yeah, that's fine. Don't mention coffee directly. That's fine. How
would you say this? We want to leave details open to the listeners.
No, we want to leave plot open to the listeners. Plot and setting. But we give them the details. Yeah. Good.
And we do that by providing details only.
Yeah.
All right.
This is fun.
I think it's fun. It's work too, you know, like
it is work. You have to go through a lot of stuff that you don't like first.
But it's producer work.
Yes.
You're working at a higher level. This would have taken a long time.
Yeah.
For me to get through. It's still got a very basic rhyme structure, but that's not necessarily a deal breaker, I suppose. All right.
You know what? Tell it to rewrite it with a Robert Frost rhyming scheme.
Ooh.
You know who Robert Frost was?
Yeah, like the
poet.
Road less traveled.
Yeah. So what he would do is rhyme like the first and last rhyme the last words of the first and third or first and fourth sentences, right?
Let's see if they can do it. Oh wow, it changed the structure. ABAB rhyme scheme.
Yeah, ABAB means A and B rhyme.
Oh, that's interesting.
No.
It's teaching its...
Yeah, but now everything ends in "een." In. That's not a Robert Frost rhyme scheme. Let me read it, though. All right, let's see. I don't think it got what I meant by Robert Frost scheme, but let's see. Beneath a tall skyline where structure is high lean, a shop sits quiet in the city scene. On a lonely shelf, a book, its pages clean, secrets hidden under the wrap of serene. So that is not what I meant. All right, so let me read something from Robert Frost. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. Okay, that rhymes. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. Okay, so, yeah, no, though, and snow rhyme, but the third one didn't rhyme. But then you got to go on. So that third line is, he will not see me stopping here. So the next one is, my little horse must think it queer, which rhymes with here, to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake. All right, remember lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake. So you see the first line of the next verse rhymes with the third line of the previous verse.
Okay.
How do you say that? I don't know how you say that.
Can we just tell it to have a more sophisticated rhyme scheme?
Well, but then who knows what you get? So
Right.
Tell it that the rhyme scheme, Robert Frost rhyme scheme, comma, or at colon maybe, rhyme the first, second, and third, what do you call it, stanzas? Lines of a verse.
Verses?
No, I think lines of a verse. And start the next verse rhyming with the third line of the previous verse. No. No, everything is eamed. All right, we have to be more explicit. You could say, use the same rhyming scheme as Robert Frost did in Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. How about that?
Stopping by woods?
Stopping by woods on a snowy evening.
We could try that. All right.
Cool.
That may be enough. We'll cut this
Mm-hmm.
and just tell it to go again.
Yep. in the city skyline between high-rise buildings, in a shop where Ivy spends her mornings till nights, pages of a novel on which ink is drying, and a chalkboard menu beneath the brick wall lights. That's not really it. So now drawing should rhyme with silence, but it doesn't. Bursting from the book animation of silence, characters in mugs and on shelves they reside, a parade of orders, customers unending, in Ivy's little world, off reality's tide. I like it better, but it's not correct. Let's see. Pedestrians come spilling like words woven in stories. Love interest caught in a Danville's scripted sigh. The world that Ivy knew of morphed into a collection of quaint and peculiar tales under city sky. I like the rhyming scheme better, but...
Me too.
Characters are whispering, echoes in the brickwork, dancing on the menu, bidding her goodbye. In every customer's smile, she sees a familiar character in her world captivated under heaven's eye. With a thud or a charm, each client leaves behind imprints of a world touched by Ivy's smile. In her cafe of dreams amidst the vast city, characters and stories, they stay for a while.
You know what this is? It's telling you which words it used from the list.
Oh, okay. All right. It's not bad. Like, I could rewrite that into real lyrics. Like, I would take out the things that don't, the rhythm isn't right, or, you know, words that don't belong in there, like customer smile, familiar character. I don't think those would sing well, you know. But I think it's a good start. And I think we're out of time.
Yeah, we are. Okay, so
what are we going to do next week?
Well, what I want to do, I think next week what I'd like to do is go into code a little bit here. What we didn't get to is the part where, you know, Jimmy Iovine or some record industry person takes the lyrics and critiques them.
Right.
But next week I want to show how you could chain this together and try to automate something, and the record industry exec at the end gives it a yay or a nay. And if they say no to this song, it gets deleted, and you just keep trying new ones until they accept one. And you might get a better starting point that way.
Okay.
But also you might not, because this more organic process where we really got into it and went methodically through from, you know, I think that's what you have to do. But I think people will like to see the chaining.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So,
and if you could do me a favor and send me that last product here, then I'm going to try to edit this as a human and make some better sounding lyrics out of it. Is that okay?
And that's fantastic. That's what we should do. And if you end up putting a song together out of this, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah. Okay. Send it to me, and who knows? We might have something next week. We might not. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.